from Nardini's Specialty in Stony Creek. So nice to have you back.
Great to be here.
So this recipe, again, you know it's going to be easy.
Of course.
And it's going to be absolutely delicious. It's a perfect way to use up leftover panettone.
That's a great idea.
But at my house, I don't really have a lot of panettone. Sometimes I have to buy two. One to eat the way you do on New Year's or Christmas, and then another one to make these beautiful desserts.
You always find a use for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we have here a Pandoro. You could use a classico if you like. It doesn't really matter. But we're going to make a rotolo. So a rotolo is like a jelly roll dessert. We're going to fill it with mascarpone. We're going to use this beautiful fruit spread that you're going to tell me a little bit more about. And we're going to drizzle a little bit of amaretto on it, some almonds, and it's going to be delicious.
Nice.
Okay.
Mascarpone is a nice creamy cheese that you can use for a lot of these dishes. It creates a nice texture. And there's imported and domestic versions as well.
Do you think there's a difference?
Well, I'm always partial to Italian, but just having the mascarpone, if you're not used to using it in some recipes, you know it's a wonderful addition to a recipe.
What I love about this product is how creamy it is.
Absolutely.
And very rich. So beautiful you can use with savory dishes, and in this case something sweet.
Very versatile.
So it's already been at room temperature, so we're going to give it a quick whiz with the beaters. It'll just take a minute. So we added a couple of tablespoons of sugar. I didn't really add too much sugar because the panettone really is beautifully sweetened as it is, so you don't want to go too sweet on the dessert. You know what, let's give it a drizzle of amaretto. Obviously if you're serving this to children, then you might want to just use, perfect, you might just want to use some vanilla extract. But I love the flavorings of liqueurs and desserts. See how creamy that is? So for this dessert, we want big pieces, maybe about this thick. Okay, so let's just go lengthwise. And this piece here, we won't be able to use, but that's okay. So I'm going to save this. Look at this. This could make croutons for a salad, or you could just dunk it in your espresso and just eat it like this, right?
Yeah.
So this is perfect. Yeah, nice big slices, not too thick. And this is really going to replace the sponge cake that you would use in a roll, in a jelly roll. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, let me see. We might need it, we might not. And because you're making this dessert, you get to decide how big you want it. So this one here is going to serve maybe 20 people. So it's a very large one. I'm just going to set this off to the side. And in the meantime, I'm just going to tidy up and get the plastic wrap. So I have 2 sheets of plastic wrap that are overlapped. And this is going to be my guide for the rolling up of the dessert. The outside part is what's going to show. Ultimately, it's going to get covered with whipping cream anyway, but we're just going to keep it like this and get the amaretto ready.
All right.
We're going to fill in all the little gaps here. There we go. Maybe just make this in here. Yeah, so, it doesn't really matter what this part looks like because it's all going to get covered up. There. So these 2 slices we didn't use, but that's okay. We're going to just, actually, you could even make like a nice little sandwich right there.
That'd be nice.
Okay, so we're going to drizzle some amaretto on it. And if your pieces were a little bit on the thick side, you could use, yeah, that's perfect.
There we go.
You could use a rolling pin and just kind of press it down a little bit. I don't think we have to do that, but I don't know. Just makes me feel good that I'm doing it. All right, and so now we're ready to put on our mascarpone. It's very soft and creamy. So I'm going to spread that. In the meantime, maybe you can get the frutta ready.
Sure.
You're going to use that full portion. If you wanted to make a smaller one, then obviously you would just, adjust accordingly. But because it is so soft and creamy, it really does spread very nicely. So tell me about this flavor of the fruit spread.
Well, this one has a strawberry flavor, but it comes in multiple varieties of flavors, and with nocciole, so it's similar to like a hazelnut spread. But Rigone di Asiago, it's found in Asiago in Italy. I was fortunate to be there and came across their boutique, and very fortunate that we can now bring it in. It's 100% organic fruit spread. So it doesn't have an overpowering amount of sugar, and you can just taste the fresh fruit. It's amazing.
It tastes like you've just cut up strawberries and just sprinkled
just
a little
the aroma
sugar.
right now too is wonderful.
So this is where you can be creative. You can use a different flavoring of fruit spread if you like. A couple of weeks ago when I was making this, I had made cranberry sauce for Thanksgiving, and I had a little bit left over. So I made a rotolo. I put on I spread the mascarpone that had been lightly sweetened, and I put my homemade cranberry sauce on it, and it was delicious. And we're ready to roll because this is a rotolo. So we're going to use the plastic wrap as a guide, and don't be nervous about it, right? So you're just going to press it down, and you're going to try to keep it as tight as possible. And that wrap really does make it much easier for you to roll. Isn't that clever like that?
Absolutely.
So once you finish rolling, this would be best refrigerated, so the mascarpone has a chance to firm up again. And so you're going to just keep it in this plastic wrap, and then just make sure that the edges here, these ends, are wrapped up very tightly. Give it a little squeeze. Make sure it's the right shape. And you're going to put that on a tray and refrigerate for a couple of hours. It'll go nice and firm. So the topping is going to be a whipped cream that's just slightly sweetened. So can I ask you to pour that in the bowl there? So we want stiff peaks in the whipped cream and maybe a tablespoon of sugar. So the rotolo has been in the refrigerator. I would have preferred for it to stay a few more hours, but we're going to go ahead and unwrap it so I can show you how to decorate it. So again, just using the saran wrap or the plastic wrap, we're just going to unwrap it. I'm going to cut that one off. Maybe you can just take that.
Sure.
We'll cut this one off. There we go. And I'm using a charcuterie board for this because I think it looks very pretty. You could even serve it like this. You could dust it with the icing sugar that comes in with the Pandoro. Or you can, go that extra step because it is Christmas. So we're going to top it off with some toasted almonds. You already have some packaged.
Yes, it's a Sicilian line. We have them in toasted almonds, toasted pistachio, and hazelnut.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a little spoon.
Great.
And maybe you can just sprinkle some on the top. And I love the amarene cherries.
They're beautiful. They're beautiful.
So I know they're, a little bit on the extravagant side, but it is that time of year.
A little goes a long way with that.
Exactly. So I'm just going to put a few down the center here. And as that syrup drips down, those colors against the white whipped cream and the little nuts there, I just think that looks so pretty. And we're going to cut this up so you can see what it looks like on the inside. Really, you could use anything you want to decorate this.
Sure, this is so visually appealing though, it's going to taste amazing.
Okay, and I'm just going to drizzle a little bit more of that sauce. There we go. And I think I have some chocolate, right? I love chocolate. Anywhere I can put a little bit of chocolate, I do. And I love the fact that this is bittersweet, so it doesn't really add a lot of extra sweetness to the dessert. Oh my goodness. I think this looks good enough to eat. What do you think?
Absolutely, I can't wait.
I'm going to cut a nice thick piece. There you go. And one for me. Did I get you an amarene cherry in there?
Yes.
It's so soft.
It looks that way.
Oh my goodness. And you can see the beautiful strawberry fruit spread in there. And here's one for you.
Thank you.
One for me. Okay, we're going to give this a quick taste. I think I need an espresso.
Sounds like a good plan.
Or a glass of champagne. Mmm.
Very light, delicious.
The flavoring of that strawberry fruit spread comes through on your first bite.
Very balanced overall.
Yeah,
For sure.
and really, you could even use, a little strawberry to decorate it if you like. This is so wonderful. So thank you so much for joining me and helping me out. Thank you very much, and I hope you give this a try for your next special